Get ready for today's deep dive.
Yeah.
We're headed to Malaysia with YouTuber Mickytolife.
Ooh, Malaysia. I love it there. What's Micky up to?
So we're diving into his Kota Kinabalu travel vlog, but with a twist.
A twist.
Yeah, you see, Micky decided to ask locals what they know about Taiwan.
Interesting. What made him do that?
Well, you know, he's Taiwanese.
Ah, I see. Making it personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let's just say the results, well, they're pretty eye-opening.
I bet. You know, what I find fascinating is that Micky's approach goes beyond just, the typical travel vlog stuff, the sights and sounds.
Right.
He's using travel as a way to explore perceptions, cultural awareness.
Yeah. It's like a social experiment woven into a travel vlog.
I like that. A social experiment. Clever.
And you won't believe how many people he encountered who, drew a blank when asked about Taiwan.
Really? I mean, that's surprising, isn't it? Especially considering Taiwan's global presence, in technology and manufacturing.
Totally.
I mean, think about it. Chances are you're interacting with something made in Taiwan right now.
Probably, yeah. It's almost like this hidden gem that the world hasn't fully discovered yet.
A hidden gem. I like that.
But here's the thing. Micky doesn't just present these findings as a Taiwan is unknown, the end kind of thing. He actually uses those blank stares as a springboard for deeper conversations.
Oh, that's smart. So he doesn't just point and laugh, so to speak.
Right, exactly.
He actually digs deeper. That's where the real gold is.
Yeah. It would have been easy to just play up the humor of those, moments.
Oh, totally.
But he uses those interactions to explore why those perceptions exist in the first place.
I like that, getting to the root of it.
Yeah. And what stood out to me was how he navigated those conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Micky describes himself as introverted, but he still manages to approach people with this genuine curiosity and openness.
He does, yeah. Which is pretty cool to see. It highlights how travel, even for those who aren't naturally extroverted, can be a powerful tool for breaking down barriers, fostering connections.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even when people struggled to, articulate their thoughts about Taiwan, he never made anyone feel uncomfortable.
That's good, putting people at ease.
Yeah. He kept things lighthearted and managed to find those little moments of connection despite, the cultural and language differences.
See, that's what I love about travel, those unexpected connections, those moments of shared humanity, even when you don't speak the same language.
Totally.
It's about approaching those interactions with genuine curiosity and respect.
Respect. Yeah, that's good.
Even if you encounter, unfamiliar territory.
Okay, so we've established that a lot of people in Malaysia don't seem to know much about Taiwan.
Right. The I don't knows are adding up.
But before we dive into the why behind those perceptions, let's unpack some of the specific moments, the ones that stood out to me.
Oh, yeah. Let's get specific. What caught your attention?
Honestly, the consistency of the, responses was pretty mind-blowing at first.
Just one after another.
Yeah. But then there were these little nuggets of information that popped up that were both hilarious and thought-provoking.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
Well, there was this one woman who said Taiwan was known for its difficult language.
Ah, yes. The infamous difficult language response.
Fine.
We'll definitely have to unpack that one because it speaks to some broader assumptions people often make when encountering unfamiliar cultures.
For sure.
Yeah, like a knee-jerk reaction,
Exactly. And it's not like she was being dismissive or rude.
Right.
It was almost like she was trying to grasp for something, anything, that she could connect to Taiwan.
Makes you wonder, if in the absence of concrete information or experiences, we tend to fill in the gaps with stereotypes or generalizations.
That's such a good point. It's like our brains are trying to make sense of something new by relating it back to something we already know.
Right, reaching for familiar ground.
Even if those connections are, superficial or even inaccurate.
Exactly. Highlighting the importance of challenging those assumptions and seeking out more nuanced understanding.
For sure. And I think that's a valuable lesson, not just for Taiwan's global image, but for anyone who's trying to challenge stereotypes or promote understanding across cultures.
Definitely.
It's not about winning every conversation or convincing everyone to see things your way.
It's a much bigger picture.
It's about planting seeds, sparking curiosity, and building bridges of understanding over time.
Beautifully said. So, as Micky boards his flight back to Taiwan, what do you think he's taking away from this experience?
I think it's a mix of both disappointment and inspiration.
Yeah, I see that.
There's a sense of disappointment that his home country isn't more widely known.
Yeah.
But there's also this spark of determination to change that narrative.
I can see that. Those encounters as frustrating as they might have been at times, have actually fueled his desire to, to share Taiwan's story with the world.
Absolutely. And that's something we can explore further as we delve deeper into the next part of his journey.
Can't wait. Let's dive in.
So, as we were talking about Micky's airport encounters, I couldn't help but think about the bigger picture.
Yeah, how so?
I mean, Micky's experience with those, I don't know, responses, it's almost like a microcosm of Taiwan's place on, the world stage.
That's an excellent point. Micky's personal journey of discovery, it really does mirror a broader conversation that's happening right now.
Exactly.
About Taiwan's international recognition.
Exactly. It's like his little social experiment unintentionally tapped into this complex geopolitical landscape Taiwan navigates.
Absolutely. I mean, Taiwan has this incredible economic power, especially when it comes to technology.
Right.
But its global image is often overshadowed by its, complicated relationship with mainland China.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is.
It's almost like Taiwan is constantly walking this tightrope between asserting its own distinct identity, sensitive international relations.
And that can make it really challenging for Taiwan to control its own narrative.
For sure.
It's not a simple story to tell.
No.
And it doesn't easily fit into, a soundbite or a catchy hashtag.
Right, exactly. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, right? With stereotypes.
Yeah.
If you're not constantly putting yourself out there, defining your own story, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle.
Oh, absolutely.
Or have others define you based on, very limited information.
It's true. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Even in our hyper-connected world, visibility is still a precious commodity.
So true.
And for a place like Taiwan with its unique history or its political complexities, that visibility is, it's even more crucial.
So this brings us back to Micky's quest, right? What can Taiwan do to boost its global profile?
Yeah.
Is it finding that one defining characteristic, like K-pop for South Korea or sushi for Japan?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I know, right?
Some argue that Taiwan needs to double down on what's known as cultural diplomacy.
Okay.
This involves showcasing its unique arts, music, cuisine, and overall cultural vibrancy.
I mean, you can't deny the power of those Taiwanese night markets.
No, absolutely not.
The food, the energy, the sheer sensory overload.
I know.
Maybe that's the key to capturing the world's attention.
It's definitely a strong contender. There's something universally appealing about experiencing a culture through its food, its traditions.
Absolutely.
But there's also a push to leverage Taiwan's technological prowess.
Highlighting its contributions to fields like renewable energy and sustainable development.
That makes sense. Taiwan is already known for its tech industry.
Right.
But maybe they need to shift the focus from just manufacturing to, innovation and sustainability. Show the world that they're not just making gadgets.
Yeah.
They're creating solutions for, a better future.
It's interesting you say that because there's already a movement within Taiwan to position itself as a leader in sustainability and tech innovation.
That's cool.
The challenge, of course, is breaking through those pre-existing perceptions and getting people to see Taiwan in a new light.
Right, and it's not just about slapping a new label on it.
No, absolutely not.
It's about telling authentic stories that resonate with people on a deeper level.
Absolutely. It's about showcasing the human side of Taiwan, the stories of its people, its history, its struggles, and its triumphs. And that's where I think Micky's vlog really shines.
I agree.
He's not trying to force a narrative or present a polished image.
Right. He's just sharing his genuine experiences, the good, the bad, and the awkward.
Right.
And that's what makes it so relatable.
His enthusiasm is contagious.
It is.
It makes you want to hop on a plane and experience Taiwan for yourself.
Yes.
Even if you started with zero knowledge about the place.
It brings us back to something we touched on earlier, the power of firsthand experiences.
Yeah.
Micky's journey shows us that travel can be an incredibly effective tool for cultural exchange.
Absolutely.
For breaking down stereotypes.
Totally.
And it doesn't have to be a grand, round-the-world adventure.
Right.
It can be as simple as exploring a new neighborhood in your own city or striking up a conversation with someone from a different background.
I love that. It's all about expanding your horizons, both physically and mentally.
Exactly. And it's about recognizing that we all have something to learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
So as we continue to follow Micky's journey, I want to pose this question to our listener. Have you ever had an experience where you felt like your home country or something you thought was well-known was a complete mystery to others?
Ooh, good one.
How did that experience shape your perspective?
That's such a great question. I think we've all had moments where we realized that the things we take for granted are not necessarily universal knowledge. And those moments can be both humbling and eye-opening.
Absolutely. It makes you realize that cultural exchange is an ongoing process, a continuous dialogue.
It really is.
And that the more we engage in those dialogues, the more we challenge our own assumptions and the richer our understanding of the world becomes.
Well said. So where do we even begin? What are some of the must-knows about Taiwan?
Well, for starters, Taiwan has a rich and diverse history, shaped by indigenous cultures, Chinese influences, and periods of Japanese colonization.
You know, that actually connects back to something we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Remember how Micky kept getting mistaken for Korean or Japanese?
Right. It highlights how those historical connections are still visible, you know, in Taiwan's cultural landscape today.
Yeah.
You can see it in the architecture, the cuisine, even in the language.
It's like layers upon layers of history.
Yeah.
All woven together to create this, you know, unique tapestry.
Exactly. And that historical depth is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Taiwan is also a global powerhouse when it comes to technology.
Okay, we can't talk about Taiwan without mentioning its tech scene.
It's true.
It's like the Silicon Valley of Asia.
It really is. Taiwan is a world leader in semiconductor manufacturing.
Oh, right.
With companies like TSMC playing a crucial role in the global supply chain.
Wait, remind me again what semiconductors are.
Okay, so think of them as the tiny brains that power our electronic devices.
Okay.
They're in everything from smartphones and laptops to cars, even refrigerators.
Whoa, so basically there's a little piece of Taiwan in almost every electronic device we use.
Pretty much. And
Yeah.
it's a testament to Taiwan's ingenuity and expertise in this field. They're not just assembling gadgets,
Right.
they're driving innovation on a global scale.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious, is Taiwan just about tech and manufacturing? What about its culture, its people, its natural beauty?
That's where it gets even more fascinating. Taiwan has a vibrant art scene, from traditional calligraphy and tea ceremonies to modern dance and street art.
Really? Wow.
And the natural landscapes are absolutely breathtaking. Towering mountains, lush forests, stunning coastlines.
Okay, I'm sold. I need to add Taiwan to my travel bucket list ASAP.
You do. It's amazing.
But before I book my flight, I have to ask, what about those famous night markets I've heard so much about?
The night markets, they're a sensory overload in the best possible way.
Oh, I can imagine.
Imagine rows and rows of street food vendors, colorful lanterns illuminating the night, and crowds of people just buzzing with excitement.
It sounds like the perfect place to experience, like, the heart and soul of Taiwan.
It truly is, and it speaks to that unique blend of tradition and modernity that defines Taiwan, you know? You can find ancient temples nestled alongside skyscrapers, traditional tea houses bustling with young entrepreneurs, and a deep respect for the past, coexisting with, like, a very forward-thinking attitude.
It sounds like such a cool mix.
It is.
You know, as you've been describing Taiwan, I've been thinking back to Micky's quest to find someone who knew about his home country.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if those, I don't know, responses weren't entirely a bad thing.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. It's
Yeah.
like those blank slates represented an opportunity,
Yeah.
a chance for Taiwan to define itself on its own terms.
Exactly. It's like they have this blank canvas to work with, free from preconceived notions or stereotypes.
Right.
They can paint their own picture, tell their own story, and captivate the world with their unique blend of history, culture, and innovation.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And I think that's a powerful message for anyone, anywhere, you know? It's a
Yeah.
reminder that we all have the power to shape our own narratives, to challenge expectations, and to show the world what makes us truly special.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Taiwan, we leave you with this final thought. What comes to mind when you think of Taiwan now? Has our exploration sparked your curiosity? And what steps can you take to learn more about this incredible island nation? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.